What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tackle Tip Tuesday coming at you here in the McCormick household, the McCormick shop. Sitting here on a beautiful, fine Tuesday evening, filming for you guys. And I just want to say thank you for everything. Do me a favor, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys want to see, whether it's questions or whatever. I'm trying to respond back to everybody. It's a lot, and but I'm getting back to you. I will respond back to you, and I truly, truly appreciate it. And you know, this week's Tackle Tip Tuesday is it's a banger. So we just got back from St. Clair, so I figured what better way to do a Tackle Tip Tuesday than to talk about what I caught them on at St. Clair. Big one. So you guys have already seen the video by now, I think, but this was an absolute beat freaking down. Yes, it was a scoping tournament, but you know, it's the nature of the beast, guys. It was a ton of fun, ton of big smallmouth. I caught 20 pounds 14 ounces the first day, basically 21 pounds, and I caught 20 pounds 13 ounces the second day, and I finished 43rd. Yes, I said 43rd, basically 42 pounds, just shy of 42 pounds, and I finished 43rd place. Let that soak in for a minute, because that's what happened. St. Clair is by far my new favorite smallmouth fishery. I'm actually fixing to take two of my buddies up there at the end of this week. We're gonna spend about 6 days there, and I'm gonna carry you guys along and let you see some more of it, because it's incredible. We're gonna do a couple little competitions. We're gonna do all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But without further ado, one rod, one reel, one bait, one weight this week. Everything I weighed come on this dude right here. Now there's a couple little things I did that I think really made a big difference. So without further ado, it's a drop shot, baby Z2, but I'm gonna talk about the rod first. So this is a 7.4 Power Finesse Mark Zona Signature Series rod, and of course the Lose Custom Light with a shallow spool on it, guys. Absolutely incredible. 10-pound contra to an 8-pound fluorocarbon contra leader. So without further ado, let's just get right into this, because I think this is a really, really, really big player, and I'm gonna have to back up so you guys can see it, so bear with me. Now, you know, the size of the leader was a very, very big deal, so I'm just gonna show you. So here's my bait right here at my fingers, and here's my weight. If you can see how long that is incredibly long. Now, here's why I did it. So at St. Clair, basically everything is from, it was loud. Basically, every depth that I was catching them in was like 12 to 14 foot, right? The lake's really not that deep, guys. I mean, the deepest part of that lake's about 17, 18 feet. And that's way out there in the middle. But the reason I had such a long leader on, I mean, literally, here's the bait up here on the rod. No weight's all the way down here. So that just tells you right there. So for weight, I was using a 3/8 ounce and a 1/2 ounce Strike King weight, tour grade tungsten weight. You know, but the biggest freaking thing, well, so here's the deal with the long leader. That's all I threw was a long leader, because everywhere I was catching them, you know, had about grass about, you know, 12, 13 inches off the bottom. And what I was noticing was, at first, when I started throwing on some, they'd follow it down to the bottom. They didn't want to bite it. And here's why. Because the Z2, the baby Z2, got below the grass and in the grass. They didn't want to swim in the grass and bite it. So a long leader, you know, compared to a short leader, I throw a short leader when the smallmouth are spawning. But other than that, because they're kind of feeding up, or feeding down, I'm sorry, they're protecting their bed. But you know, anytime throughout the year, those smallmouth are always looking up, so they really don't want like nothing below them. So, and here's another reason why I was doing it too. So when I'd pitch it out there on scope, I could see my baby Z2 sitting above the grass, so I would know when one comes up to it, instead of not being able to see it when they're on the bottom. So that was a big, big player for me. Smallmouth, guys, I absolutely love it. I mean, it's incredible. But the color Z2 I was throwing, about the only color I throw for smallmouth is the deal. I did mix in a little bit of green pumpkin. It didn't really play out for much, or not as good as a deal in this color right here. The deal is the deal. The deal is the deal. It's a bad to the bone sucker right there. But I was throwing a Aaron Martin's Gamakatsu #2 nose hook, and that's a big player too. So with that being said, you know, I didn't really know going to St. Clair how the smallmouth worked because that was my first time, but I'll say this. So the difference between St. Lawrence and Champlain, this is my two best comparisons. St. Lawrence smallmouth, their mouth is literally about yay big. I mean, you can barely get your thumb in there. Now, a Champlain smallmouth is pretty dang big. So a bigger, you know, a smallmouth that have bigger mouths, I'm gonna use a straight shank. I'm gonna use a owner cover shot #1 or #2, depends on what I'm throwing. I'm only use a straight shank. So why I do that is because on bigger mouths, they're gonna swallow it and that bait's gonna be in the back of their throat and you're gonna get past that hard spot on top of their mouth. So basically you're bypassing it. And with throwing a nose hook on, you know, smallmouth that have bigger mouths, I just don't feel like you get a lot of good hook sets in it because it's such a big mouth. And when they swallow that bait, that hook moves around so much. And by the time you set the hook, you know, they could just basically open their mouth and pop out, or you barely have them skin hooked in the lip. So that's why I throw a cover shot #1 or #2 straight shank when I'm smallmouth fishing on Champlain, just because their mouths are bigger. Now that's why. Now, going to a smaller mouth like St. Lawrence and St. Clair, super small mouth. And guys, this little hook right here, I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but that thing is tiny. I mean, my finger's bigger than it. And that's a really big player. I never lost one all week. Everything I hooked, I caught. I think I lost one in practice because I was letting it jump 20 times behind the boat, taking a picture of it. But that's a bad to the bone deal. Always throw a nose hook when you are smallmouthing for smallmouth mouth. That's a handful. When the smallmouth mouths are little, throw a circle hook. When the smallmouth mouths are big, like here on Kentucky Lake or Champlain, throw a straight shank. That's just something I've always done. I actually learned that from Cody, so kudos to him because he taught me that, and I could see it. You know, it made sense because I always used to straight shank it, and when I go to St. Lawrence, I'd freaking lose like 10 out of the one I caught. So the hookup ratio is just way better. When their mouths are small, circle hook it. When their mouths are big, straight shank it. So, like I said, that's it's pretty simple. It was a pretty simple setup. Like I said, 7.4 power finesse. Mark Zona's signature series with a loose custom light shallow spool, 10-pound Contra braid, 8-pound Contra fluorocarbon, guys. Absolutely so much fun. And I'm excited to go back up there and jack some more. It was, I didn't burn but about 3 gallons of fuel in that whole tournament within 2 days. Stayed really close. And it was kind of going down in there. I mean, I ain't even got to say where it was because you guys already know where it's at. All the social media, it's, you know, been dropping about it, but it was incredible. Super fun place. A lot of grass. Sand was a big deal. You find, you know, bare spots within the grass that had sand on it. It's really big deal. I don't really know what the grass type was. I call it sand grass. I'm sure there's a name for it, specific name for it, but everything was living it. There was catfish living it, drum, walleye, freaking muskie, sturgeon, big giant smallmouth, perch. It was just lively, and it was a really fun tournament. And like I said, barely got a check. And from here on out, guys, you know, we're just gonna have fun the rest of the year. Leech Lake is coming up next. Never been there, hadn't been that many tournaments there, but I did talk to Easton Fothergill, and he's from there, and he was like, dude, it's gonna be tough. So fingers crossed, hopefully it's not, but chances are it's probably gonna be tough. But anyways, guys, that's up next. After I get back from St. Clair, so I think Leech Lake's like August. I leave 16th or 17th of August, so I got a little bit of time at home. So gonna get caught back up on videos with you guys. Tackle Tip Tuesdays, Tuesday nighters, and probably fish a couple local derbs. And actually just put a brand new graph on the boat. I'm excited about another scope. Yep, I said it. You guys probably gonna hate me that hate scope, but I put another one on there. So it is what it is, guys. Just the nature of the beast. Can't beat them, join them, right? So that's what we're doing. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the like, leave a comment, turn that notification bell on, and I'm gonna go get me some dinner. So I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.